a gem.
Oh, I know you're talking about that.
And she's teaching these women how to play drums and giving them something that she didn't know she was given by a man, by her dad.
Oh, let me think now. On my klezmer drumming, my father. From the get-go, I learned that it's the old European way I play. That's what I do. But he was a famous classical player, played all the shows, theaters, operas, ballets, blah, blah, blah. When I was at Curtis, he toured with Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops. I mean, he toured with Agnes DeMille and the American Ballet Theater. I mean, this man played.
Her father was really very, very, very supportive of her doing it, and she never thought twice about being a woman.
Daddy, he knew them all here. If you would go, when he was the leader of the gig, he would hire me to play drums, and he would play xylophone. And I have it on reel to reel from family weddings. He would start a tune, and he would say to the musicians, "Follow me." No names, whisper names. "Follow me." And they would follow him. It was something. He was a crackpot, but what a musician.
My mom has had a huge, full career in the 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and now 2000s with Klezmer, but before that she was a classical musician, and she was Philadelphia's first call timpanist. And so she played for the ballets, and she played for, when the Ice Capades would come into town, she played the timpani, and she played at the theaters, the Valley Forge theaters. She played the show 1776, I remember. She played for Tom Jones. She played for Duke Ellington, came into town, needed a extra percussionist. She played. So she was really, she played in a modern percussion ensemble. She taught.
When you're playing drums, what do you think about?
My father, being a little girl. That's the fun. Oh man, I did this 70 years ago. It's not, this is serious music. This brings back my childhood, my father. I hope Susan will feel that way too, and Bradley. That this is, oh, we have to learn this music. No, this is part of it's part of my life growing up. Exactly. When I was a little girl, I remember Daddy used to play when the hoop was wooden hoop on the bass drum. Yeah.
And the klezmer that she played was music that she learned as a child, that we played, that I learned it as a child, that we played in our families when our families were together, which was a lot. My grandfather was always at the piano playing his tunes, playing Yiddish theater tunes, playing the tunes that we heard, Itala and Lekala, my mom has recordings, reel-to-reel recordings of her and her grandfather. Her cousin, her first cousin, he had a very successful wedding, bar mitzvah band kind of thing. And he said to my mother face to face, I can't use you because you're a woman drummer, and I can't have women drummers. And the Jewish world at that point wasn't ready to see a woman on the drums and stage. But the classical world was ready. It was interesting. I thought it was interesting because you'd think it'd be the other way around. You'd think the Hamish folk life would be more open to that kind of
modernity. I'm Doug Siegel. Elaine Hoffman is my grandmother. My mom is the oldest of her 3 daughters, and I play trombone and piano. And she's impacted my klezmer because she teaches me all the rhythms and all the tricks that you do to make it sound professional and not just like you're some kid picking up a trombone and playing. You actually sound like you know what you're doing, even if you really don't.
Douglas plays piano and trombone. Jonathan plays cello, aspiring rock guitar. Everybody wants to play guitar, but he's a good cellist.
I've learned from her fake book just in be able to read the chords and be able to follow along with the melody, playing the bass or on trombone, or even when playing the melody on piano. And the books are a huge part of the klezmer in my family.
I'm Bradley Sigel. Elaine is my grandmother. Her oldest daughter is my mom. And she pretty much taught me how to play drums in her basement, which is piled with old boxes, so that makes it interesting. And she's a very interesting teaching style that usually you need earplugs for.
Bradley plays terrific drums, good timpanist. I told him.
Well, I met Elaine and Susan here, although we're all from Philadelphia, and we discovered when we started playing together that my ancestors in Philly actually played with her father. Susan and Elaine are the first people I played klezmer with, and so most of my repertoire is made up of their songs, but rhythmically a lot of the things that I learned about trombone accompanying goes along with Elaine's drumming and how it fits in with her drumming.
These women, girls, are musicians, and they can count, and they know if I sing a rhythm to them, they know what it is. And that's what we do. We break it down.
I mean, the bulk of the tunes that I know are from her and from her grandfather's book. And also just on a personal level, they've become like family to me.
She's a link to tradition from her father and her other relatives. She's able to come at the music and teach people in a very unique way how to play the music and approach the music. And it's important to have people like her around and to learn from and experience what they've experienced.
Well, my name is Laurie Wolf. I'm from Toronto. I'm a drummer. I'm a percussionist. And I first met Elaine here. I've been coming to Klez Camp for 8 years, so even before I got to camp, I heard about Elaine Hoffman Watts. So on top of that, she's a wonderful drummer and she's great to watch. And she still gets on stage and she's still playing. And I hope that when I'm that age, when I God willing get to be a grandmother and have a beautiful family like Elaine, that I still can get up on stage and rock like Elaine Hoffman Watts.
I love my mom. She's a pain in my arse, in my toches.
Now, if you were going to do it in a concert at your level, how would that go?
Do I have to have dirty words?